YouTube, what's good? It's your boy Black. It's late. I think it's about 12 o'clock right now. It's not really that late, but it's late enough. Uh, just thought I'd make a quick review because I finally got around to playing this Skyrim. I got around to playing it around 5 o'clock today, 6 o'clock today, something like that. But my kids and my wife started running around, so I had to get off of the game, give the wife and the kids some time. Plus, there was no school today for the kids, so I had to take care of them all day. Do the daddy thing, which I don't have a problem with. But I didn't get as much time as I would have liked to because I had responsibilities today, which is fine. But but I did get some time with it, and I'm gonna do a review. I ain't played that much of the game. I mean, I did a couple of little things here and there. I got freed from the wagon at the beginning of the game. I followed the guard who helped me escape, and I helped him. I saved his life. And you go to his cousin's cavern with his family there, and you basically get to use their forging equipment that's on the porch, basically, in the first town you get to. And I just got to say about this game straight off the bat, this is most definitely our game of the year. And not only is it the game of the year, this is the best RPG I've ever played. Out of all the RPGs I've ever played in my life, this is the best role-playing game that I've ever played, hands down. I mean, without a doubt, without even having to think about it, there is no RPG like this RPG. Bethesda Studios has went beyond and above what I thought was going to be possible in this game. I didn't get a chance to compare it to the Xbox 360 version yet. I think I might actually pick up 2 copies of this game, maybe. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But the game is gorgeous. The game is beautiful. When I did, but when I did first put the game in, it crashed on me. But it only did that one time. I put it in again, and I played for like maybe an hour or some change, and it didn't crash on me at all. Okay, so it's like it gave my PlayStation 3 a heart attack, and then it got revived, and I reset the system and started playing again, and it worked fine. It did freeze on me for like a mid-second, but that was just when it does the auto save. The game kind of gets a little hiccup when it auto saves a little bit. But it started working after it froze for like 10 seconds, I think. So that first auto save kind of got me scared, and it was like, okay, this game is kind of really, really glitchy. Which I'm hearing a lot of things about the glitches. I didn't experience too many glitches at all. Maybe if a NPC character gets cornered and he's supposed to be moving around and there's somebody in front of him, he looks like he teleports out of the way a little bit or something like that. Like he's in one place, then he just disappears and appears somewhere else if there's another NPC in his way. But besides that, that was the only glitch I've seen so far. The game is huge, and I'll probably encounter more stuff, but there are going to be patches for this game. I mean, this is day one, so the game is going to get a lot more solid in functionality as the game is out. They're going to put more patches in for this game now that they see how it's going to run on consoles and what they need to fix. They didn't get to finish all the little bugs, but besides not finishing all the little bugs, I gotta say, this game is epic. This is the best RPG I've ever played in my life. You get to make your character at the beginning of the game. There's 10 races now. I don't remember how many Oblivion had, but there's 10 races now, and they're really broad and huge customization aspects in this game for your character. I mean, not only in when you first make your character, but how you play the character is freaking amazing. I mean, you can be anything you want to be in this game. Anything. If you want to be a mage with good melee ability, you can be that just by playing that in the game. You want to be somebody who uses magic and a sword, you can do that. You just use magic and use a sword. And when you do that, you level up each aspect of that. You level up the magic you're using, and you'll level up sword play. So it means you'll learn combat abilities for melee weapons, and you'll also learn stronger magic spells in the class of magic that you choose, like destruction or elemental, that type of a thing. So it basically forms itself onto what you're doing as a character inside the world of the game, which is freaking amazing. I mean, it's freaking amazing. I mean, the world is so detailed now compared to Oblivion. Oblivion was an awesome game because of the freedom that it gave you. just world-wise, how big the map was and how much stuff you can do. This game does the same thing, but on top of that, the graphics are a little more refined, meaning that the characters don't look like wax figures, because that's what they remind me of in Oblivion. The characters look like wax figures. In this game, they don't look like wax figures. I feel like something's flying in front of the camera. It's late. I'm a little tired. But the characters don't look like wax figures in this game at all. There's a good level of detail in the characters. I mean, the characters don't look super good, but compared to Oblivion, these characters look good enough. I mean, they don't show too much emotion in their face. They still have these high intensity conversations where it could basically be "I'm gonna kill you," and they don't have too much emotion in the expression in their faces when all the dialogue is being delivered. But compared to Oblivion, it's a step up, and it does add a layer of atmosphere to the conversations. Also, I didn't fight any dragons yet, or anything that deep, but I kind of get the feeling of what the game is going to be about and how it's going to play by the mechanics. Another thing, comparing it to Oblivion, the last game that came out, was the combat. The melee combat was good in Oblivion. I hear a lot of people saying it was a little floaty. It felt like you were swinging a Nerf sword. There wasn't no bang for your buck on the impact when you hit somebody. It's still kind of like that in this game, but the animations got a lot better. If you compare the animations for this game to Oblivion, they're freaking they're flawless to me. Just for just for how big this game is. I mean, the animations feel like the weapons have weight to them now. I started the game and I pillaged my equipment out of a chest, and I got a regular sword and shield type of format, but I didn't have a shield yet. I just had just a sword, and then I killed somebody in a torture chamber somewhere that was under a keep, and I looted his body, and then I got a great sword, which my character is going to use through the whole entire game. Is going to be a great sword. So I got to basically get my character's weapon of choice at the beginning of the game. They give you a choice between those two weapons at the beginning of the game. I also found a bow a little later on. You just pillage the bodies. And it's been a long time since I played a game like this also. So I'm used to games like Dark Souls where if you're farming for an item, you have to kill like 100 fucking monsters or type of characters that are of a certain class until they drop an item at an item drop percentage rate. So it was nice to play a game where I could kill somebody, see the armor that they have on, and just loot their body and take it. And it felt like you were accomplishing something because your character would change visually right in front of you. So it had a real good level of customization there. And compared to other open space games, this is a welcome change because this is like the biggest open space sandbox world story-wise role-playing game you can get into. And I mean, not until Grand Theft Auto 5, but Grand Theft Auto 5 is going to be its own type of entity. This game is still 5 times huger than Grand Theft Auto 5. This game has hundreds and hundreds of hours of gameplay and storyline and options. I mean, I knew the game was huge when I knew the game was huge when I went to the guy who helps you escape out the keep at the beginning of the game, and you go to his cousin's house, his family's house, and they're cooking, and you start stirring the pot, and then you go over to the pot, and you can actually eat their food. And on the porch, they have a bunch of like crafting equipment for sword and armor, and even cooking for food. And you go to the pot and you can actually take stuff that you've gathered out in the field, like those flowers that you would mindlessly gather in Oblivion and things like that, and they would actually work in recipes. Like you can actually cook recipes that your character could actually eat, and it would give them back a good amount of health. So it actually has a cooking system that it actually makes sense for you to use, because when you're going on a huge adventure and maybe you don't have healing magic, which they do have. So it kind of, if you have healing magic, you don't have to worry about this type of stuff. But maybe you don't want to use healing magic to make the game more difficult for yourself. You can do that and have a high cooking craft level. You could actually cook a bunch of good stuff and bring it with you on an adventure, and that would be your way of healing in between fighting enemies. You know what I mean? Like just the flawless options that you could have that much choice. You know what I mean? Was amazing to me, and you could actually view everything that you could craft and like zoom in on it. Like if it was beef stew, you have because you click in the right analog stick on the PS3 because that's what I'm playing on, and you could zoom into a pot of beef stew and zoom in, and it would make me hungry looking at it. Like that's how detailed the game world would be and get me that immersed that I would look at it and actually want to eat. You know what I mean? It really felt like that. This game is truly epic. There is nothing like this game. Everything I heard about this game is 100% true. You know, I've been celebrating since last night since I got this game. I'm doing more celebrating than I'm doing playing. You know, because I'm just so excited to see something this immersed come out. You know, and you don't see a lot of games for the PS3 that's not solely for the PS3. Put background art in the case and stuff like that. Like they knew how epic this was. You know, and this background art. I don't know if the Xbox 360 version has that in it because they don't have a see-through case. Really, it's green, not clear. So I don't know, but I thought that was pretty cool too. I noticed it afterwards as I was playing the game. You know what I mean? I didn't get a horse or anything like that yet, so I haven't seen any good animation. If the horse's mane and the hair and everything actually blows in the wind or moves and has good horse hair physics or anything like that, so I didn't get to see that. But I'm just sheerly amazed on the world and the way the characters in town would actually have conversations now. It feels more real. You know, it feels more fluid. You know, it's just something about the way Bethesda does these games that they bring their worlds to life like you're visiting the world. When you put the disc in, I feel like it's a portal to a planet. Like it's a portal to another place. You know, and not that many games give you that much escapism. This game gives you maximum escapism. When you put this disc in your system, you're in another place immediately. You're in somewhere that feels real, like when you go outside your house. You know, and that is kind of scary in the same aspect as it's freaking incredible because if you're a person who's not mentally all there, you could totally absorb yourself mentally into this game so you have no life outside of this game, especially with the sheer amount of stuff you can do. You know, this is just escapism at its best. I mean, at its best. I didn't even open the strategy guide yet from the parts that I've delved into so far. But the next time I pop the game in, or just it's in my system already, it's not coming out. It's gonna be the only game in my system for a while. When I turn the system on and start playing again, I'm gonna use the strategy guide and see what my options are at this point in the game and where I'm at this guy's family member's house. He's telling me to join the Imperial Legion. I don't know too much about the rebels yet, so I want to get their side of what's going on, and I'll make my choice depending on which side I like the most, or I'll join whatever their fighters guild in this game is called, because I don't do the thieves guild and all that stuff. Cause I'm not a thief. I don't think that's cool at all. So whatever the fighters guild is called in this game, I'm gonna join that again. You know, do those quests, some arena quests if they have arenas, that type of a thing. But I'm just looking forward to really delving into this game. And if you're into role playing games, or if you're into Lord of the Rings and that type of lore, you know what I mean? Those type of stories, those type of universes. This game is a most definite buy. I mean, the controls, the way the whole game works. Another thing about the controls is in Oblivion they have a third person view just like they have in this game where you can click out and not have to not have to play in the first person view where you can see your whole character. It felt a little awkward in Oblivion. This game makes the third person view feel just as good as the first person view. And that right there was amazing to me. Especially when you start swinging your sword. And I use a great sword, so it's a little bit slower than a normal sword because of the heft of the sword. And I can't carry a shield, so it's a two-hand weapon. Excuse me. And the animations will make me feel like I had to make sure I'm pointing in the right way, or every swing would be pointless if I'm not in the right position and in the right direction. I'm swinging and everything. It wouldn't make a difference. But when I do land, I take off more damage than the average character would because I'm using a bigger, stronger, more cleaving weapon. You know, it's just that layer of realism there. I'm just like, it's so crazy how huge this world is. I mean, it's just mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling. Has day and night system. Day and night, they look really, really well. The shadowing on the character, the lighting is 10 times better than it was in Oblivion. Light soaks through trees. Trees cast their own shadows onto the characters. I mean, it just makes the world more real when the environmental physics of like nature and everything really reacts to what's happening on the screen, like where your character's positioned under a tree or anything. And the light reacts to that and actually casts shadows from branches and trees onto the character. I'm like, this is amazing. I don't know how. I said this before the game came out. I don't know how Bethesda did this and fit it on one disc on the Xbox 360. I mean, I don't understand how it was possible. I mean, this could have. To me, this game is so big. I would have understood if they said it was on 2 Blu-rays. I wouldn't even have thought twice. I would have said this is gonna be freaking amazing. But it's on 1 Blu-ray and it's still freaking amazing. And it's just mind blowing and mind boggling. This is our game of the year. Right? And another thing I want to say too about this year in gaming in general, this is probably the best year in gaming out of any year in gaming that I've ever had games in. There was so many good titles this year that it's just ridiculous. I mean, I don't understand. It's ridiculous. It was ridiculous. We had Uncharted 3. We had Dark Souls. Deus Ex was an awesome first game in the drought. I mean, it was just an amazing year. And there's many games in between those games that I probably am missing and can't think about right now because it was that many of them. You know, I'm not a Madden guy, but people told me Madden was awesome this year. Call of Duty just came out. Battlefield 3. I mean, there was just a lot of games this year that were epic. And they came out towards the end of the year. That last third and fourth quarter type situation. But they were epic, huge titles that were above and beyond what normally we would get as gamers. And they were all crunched into this one year. I mean, it was an amazing year for gaming this year. I mean, everybody should be enjoying this. We're living something that 10, 15 years from now, maybe even 20 years from now, people will look back at this year and be like, I remember when Skyrim came out, how epic it was, and how much fun I was having with that. Meanwhile, I was playing Dark Souls in the background of that, or Deus Ex or something. There's just so many good games out right now for consoles. This is the turning point to me from consoles being, second, not to I wouldn't say they second to PC gaming, but just that PC gaming has the better graphics. You know what I mean? And it's more of a established platform for gaming just because they have higher resolutions, better sound, better frame rates because of the graphics cards and everything. Well, consoles have unique experiences that you might not be able to find on PC, and this year proved that more than any other game, especially when you got some of these PC games being ported to the PC, and the PC players are getting mad that they're being delayed. Like I think Battlefield 3 was delayed on the PC. Oh no, it came out at launch. I forgot something came out and it was delayed on the PC. It's not out yet, and they had to wait like until November 22nd instead of the 11th or something like that. I forgot exactly which game it is right now because you gotta forgive me. I'm kind of Skyrim lagged right now, but it's just an awesome game, an awesome year rather to be a console gamer, But real gamers stand up. This game is freaking awesome. Make sure you go get it. It's deeper than I could even talk about. You just got to get your feet wet. If you played Oblivion and you loved Oblivion, this is not a game to be missed by you, especially as an RPG gamer. This game is the most immersive game you're ever going to get your hands on for a console. Ever. It blows everything else out of the water. I mean, you're more of a real person in this game than any open sandbox game would ever try to convince you are. Mafia 2 is dead. Grand Theft Auto is dead. Saints Row is not even out and they're dead. Fallout 3 is dead. Call of Duty is dead. Everything. All the titles you're playing is nothing. This is the game you need to be playing right now. Especially at a time when we had a year with an awesome TV show also that kind of lives in the same lore and storytelling as this game is, which is Game of Thrones, which was fucking incredible. That was an incredible show, Game of Thrones. This game right here, if you're a Game of Thrones fan, which I am, I found myself comparing it to that, and it kind of is a perfect match for each other. I mean, if they're making a Game of Thrones game, it's not going to be as good as if Bethesda would have did it. Bethesda, you need to just buy the rights to that and just make a Game of Thrones game and make it like this and just do us all some fan service because, I mean, this is basically Game of Thrones the way I would love it to be, but you made your original story, Skyrim, Elder Scrolls 5. It's freaking incredible. Make sure you go get this game, guys. I'm gonna play some more in a little while. Right now, I'm gonna celebrate a little more. My wife is asleep. My kids are finally asleep. I think my son's in the other room watching Batman Year One right now on his PS3. It's really late, but he has no school tomorrow, and he's just like me. My kids, they don't sleep all the time too well, so at least they got good stuff to watch. But real gamers stand up. Go get your Skyrim, man. That's all I got to say. I can't say nothing more else about it. Go get your Skyrim. If you don't have this already, you're missing out on epicness. All right, real gamers stand up.